What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Recently, I was sent a disturbing video. And of course, for those of you brothers who are in the African American community, some of you brothers watch me are African or Caribbean living in America, either first, second, or third generation. This topic is going to bring something home to us. All right. Now, it appears that you had a brother and a sister on some sort of speed date. I'm not sure what it was. The lady is African or African heritage. It's kind of hard to tell that because she acts just like an African American. The brother's African American. What I'd like to do is to play this interaction, and then I'm going to come back and we will discuss it.
If you was making sweet potatoes, do you put 1 cup of water or do you put 2 cups of water?
What kind of sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes, candy yams.
Candy yams? How much sweet potatoes am I making?
A pot.
Feed how many?
It's a cooking channel? Do you
feed how many people?
1 cup of water, 2 cups of water.
How many people are we feeding? It doesn't matter?
Nope. 1 cup of water, 2 cups of water.
I'm born and raised African. I'm not African American, so I don't know y'all culture. But if I were to make it, I don't know, shit. 2?
Sweet potatoes, you don't put no water in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to pass, but
Wait, so
Good.
so you wanna
That's
steal?
good.
So y'all both gonna walk away? You gonna walk, okay?
Yeah. What? That's slave food. I don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave. I don't know how slaves cook. I was never a slave, babe. I know where my grandfather came from, my great-grandfather, and where all their ass came from. Your ass don't know. You want to listen.
So, of course, you guys, unfortunately, have witnessed that interaction there, which, of course, is something that I want to focus on because I used to see something like that. Then I would make the immature choice of blaming all Africans for saying something like that. And then I had to really look and talk about that. I've had some Africans be very nice to me. I've went to school with them. I've seen people that have been very respectful. And likewise, not all Africans act like this. Very few that I see will actually say something like this. If they do, they might say it in the comfort of their own home. And like I said, I say stuff in the comfort of my own home I'm not proud of. Still do sometimes. But again, the lady says, I'm not a slave like you. Now, I don't know what the brother said that would make her say something like that. But in other words, what she is saying is, because of my heritage and our people, I'm not a slave like you. Now, again, people there are upset. They look bothered. But when I'm looking at the young lady, she's saying I'm not a slave like you. But when I'm looking at her mannerisms, obviously, you're even acting and sounding and talking just like an African American person. And I cannot say that when I see a lot of times the African brothers and sisters that have a problem with Black Americans there, and then they have criticisms, and then I listen to them talk and how they act. It's almost like somebody acting just like it. You would even confuse them for being us. That's number one. The second thing is, if that is your vantage point, and if somebody's culture is so superior than the other, and I'm talking about Black Americans complaining about Africans or vice versa, then how did that bring you to America? This is not being funny, it's just to understand something, right? If your Africans are going where they're going, and likewise us, we are both dominated by the same people. blacks at the bottom in America, and in most African countries, outside of some West African countries like Nigeria and Ghana, where I would have to say Nigerian brothers and sisters do very well in controlling the majority of their economy, but that's not the case in other African countries. Zambia, Tanzania, certain elements of Uganda and Kenya. And I've noticed that a lot of times people, when they talk like that, even on the African American side or the African side, we will throw these shots, and both people can throw shots. I mean, I was, like I said, I know sometimes the issues with Nigeria and Black Americans. I'm gonna just tell you, I was in Lagos for 2 weeks. If somebody wanted to point out the problems that are happening in Africa, if really, like I said, and they can get on us too, that's easy. That's why I don't even go back and forth with African brothers and sisters about their issues or whatever. Because the reality is, we got to understand how to talk to each other, and then acting like our people are just doing so much better than the other person. And you can type right in the internet and see what's going on in the country that you're from, or type right in the internet and see black wealth is decreasing in the black community in America, and that we both at the bottom. It don't even make no sense. Now we're talking stupid. Okay? When we should be worried about, again, how we can come together. Number one, I don't care what community you want to be in. The African American community, you want to call yourself, if you refer to yourself as ADOS or FBA, even if you don't want to deal with the Africans. How can you help our people do something constructive? Black people worldwide, and we have a lot of beautiful blacks worldwide. And when in things like this, we see Brother Akon, it takes away from the beautiful brothers in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Britain, that when one person said that they love you. Same thing with a lot of African Americans. If you're good people, we love you. We let these clips get out of hand when we start disliking each other for no reason. And then at the same time, while we start being so tribalistic, you won't even help your own people. I see it over here all the time. I heard you, this is a true story. Overheard a Ugandan say he would never marry a Black American woman, right? We heard this. Because he's so faithful to his people. Then you find out about this guy. He's one of the worst reputations in the country. Scamming who? His own people. And really, when you talk about, when these folks say stuff like that, they don't do nothing for their folks. The people who do stuff for their people, they don't have time to be sitting around talking like this. And again, we have to be mature enough to know that people are going to say idiot stuff. You got, like I said, and then that don't mean that you can't work with everybody else, but it got to be called out on either side. Black Americans say things. I know it. I've heard it. I've been one of the people saying things. But the other groups look at us as the same. I'm going to tell you, I was living in Poland. True story. The police came and stopped a group of us one day. It wasn't, it was like, so I'm a Black American and they're Zimbabwean. It's no, all of y'all are Africans. That's what they said. And it wasn't until later, until they figured out that I was from America, that I got treated a little bit better. But the whole rest of the world look at us the same. And if you ever want to have some sort of conditional talking, we got to also understand too. When we say disrespectful things about people in the Black diaspora, we close doors for possible collaboration. We close doors. Close doors off of being stupid. If I feel like you offended me or something like that, the last thing I want to do is talk about your culture. Because it don't make no sense. For you as an individual, I just won't deal with you. But I'm not going to insult your people because your people didn't do nothing to me. That individual might do something to me, and I might think about that in my head, but I'm not going to say something. And then what would have happened if those black people start beating on her? Then all of a sudden, oh, y'all have jumped me. See, then now you're scared. Now it's black on black, it's black against African crime, right? So we gotta be mindful of what we're talking about and what we're saying to folk. What we're saying to folk. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.